Women in the Diaspora with me, Ngozi Jason. And today is our fifth episode. Yes, I said because I believe that this podcast is not just for me. I don't just believe, I know definitely this podcast isn't just for me, it is for all of us. Because for this podcast to go to where I see it going to, all of us will have to do it together. So this is our fifth episode, and if you have been listening to my previous episodes, our previous episodes, you would know that every time I come here, I always announce what episode it is, and I always celebrate it. And you may wonder, this woman is beginning to sound like a broken record. So what happens if she gets to episode 500? What? Episode 500? I might just take out an advert or an announcement on BBC or CNN or something, and I'll just have a party and invite everybody because I will be so excited. Every time, every episode, every time I come here, I'm always excited that I was able, despite the odds, despite the challenges, despite everything, I'm still able to come here five times in the last, today is the 17th, in less than 3 weeks. I've been here 5 times. I'm really, really proud of myself. So let's get straight into today. Well, let's go back a little bit to last week I came here and I talked about, the title for last week's episode was how to have a great day, and I talked about one thing you can do to have a great day. Well, I said one thing, but I think I mentioned like three or four things, but all those four things were actually intermingled with that one thing, and the one thing was take charge of your day. And we talked about the importance of taking charge of your day. We talked about why you should take charge of your day and what benefits there are to taking charge of your day. So today I'm going to continue. Today is the part two of how to have a great day. If you're listening to episode 4, if you go back to listen to episode 4, I did something on episode 4. If you remember, if you listen to um episodes 1 and 2, you will remember that I said that I wasn't going to edit my videos, my podcast. I'll just record and then I would publish. There's a reason. If you are a creative person, sometimes when you read or watch actors being interviewed and then you ask them if they watch their movies, I noticed that many of them say they don't watch their movies. And I used to wonder why. Well, ever since I started creating content around what I do, I have come to understand why so many actors don't watch their own movies. I've read about many of them saying that they get embarrassed by watching themselves. I feel the same way too. So once I record and I try to edit, I see so many things wrong. I don't like the way my hair is. I don't like the way my lips look too dry. I don't like the way my jacket sits on me. I don't like what I said here. I repeated myself too often. I was speaking too fast. I was too excited. I always see so many things wrong that I feel that editing the video or editing the recording would not make that much of a difference. I would now end up re-recording. I will end up recording all over again, which takes up a lot of my time. Because as you know, I live in the UK, and if you're an African who lives outside Africa, especially in Europe, you would know that getting help is quite expensive. So as a woman, you're going to school, you're working, maybe you have a side hustle, and then you have to clean, you have to cook, you have to go grocery shopping, you have to organize, your household. Organizing your household, lies squarely on your head, except you have a partner who understands these things. Okay, so but most of the home, running the home and taking care of the home rests on you. So I have a lot of things I do. I belong to so many groups. A I'm a worker. I'm a committed member and worker in my church. I have my business, I write, I have a reading club, so many things. So going to edit what I have recorded, it takes a lot out of me. So I told myself I wasn't going to edit any of my podcast recordings. I'll just record and publish immediately, mistakes and all. So last week during episode 4, I just felt, because why don't you just stop being lazy and edit? Okay, so I did. In the course of editing, I just felt, oh, this isn't too good. So I did the first take, I dropped it. Did the second take, I dropped it. Then the third take, somehow, I don't know what I did, but it seems as if the third take and the second take were merged into one. So if you listen to that episode 4, you'll find that the first 5 minutes and the sixth to 10th minutes are kind of the same. I repeated myself. After the second take, I thought I pressed stop. I think I pressed, or I don't know, I thought I pressed stop. But it seems like I pressed pause and then, organized my thoughts, organized myself, and then pressed play and then continued without knowing it. I thought I was starting all over again. I thought I did 3 takes, but it looks like I did 2 takes. So the second take, instead of pressing stop and starting all over again, I think I pressed pause and I started all over again. But it's there already, so enjoy it. Enjoy it, because I thought about removing it, but I just felt, leave it there, leave it there. I'm leaving it there. Mistakes and all. So this is me. This is me. This is just me. And I think I'm just going to go back to not editing my recordings. It's like going live. I'd rather go live than record a video and then editing. That's why I enjoy going live so much on social media, because when you go live, whatever mistakes you make, they're there, they're there. There's nothing you can do about it. And you know that most times people don't even notice the mistakes you make except you point them out. So now that I just felt that this particular mistake I made for last episode, it's quite glaring, except you're not really paying attention, or maybe you assume it's something's wrong with your app or your phone or something. But I just felt to let you guys know that I noticed this mistake, but it's there already. All right. So today's episode is part 2 of how to have a great day. And today's episode, just to let you know the importance of taking charge of your day, because that was the one thing I said you can do in to have a great day in episode 4, taking charge of your day. And taking charge of your day is as simple as saying, I take charge of my day. It's as simple as that. I take charge of my day. And in episode 4, last episode, I mentioned that you start to take charge of your day the previous night. So the night before, you write down all the things that you want to achieve the next day just before you go to bed. Some people do it in the morning, that's on that particular day, but I prefer to do it the night before. Just before I go to bed, I do a list of everything I want to do, I want to achieve the day before, and then I go to bed. So in the morning, when I wake up, before I actually start praying, immediately I wake up for the day. Immediately, before my mind starts to run to other things, before all kinds of thoughts start coming to me, I just take charge of my mind and I say I take charge of my day. Today's episode, just to give you, just to explain to you how I actually take charge of my day, how I do it. I know other people may have their way of doing it, but this is how I do it. It's working for me, and I hope that it will work for you as well. So for this podcast, don't take anything I say at face value. You try it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, drop it, because not everything I say would work for everybody. So if you tried and it works for you, please let me know. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine. Just drop it and then take something else that from somebody else that will work for you. So when I wake up in the morning, before I actually start praying, before I start to think any thoughts, before I start to feel overwhelmed by the day's activities, immediately I capture my mind, I close my eyes, And I thank God. I say, Father, I thank you. Today is a great day. Excuse me. I say, Father, I thank you. Today is a great day. Today I'm alive to you. This is my own way of doing it. You can do yours the way that suits you. Today I'm alive to you. Today I'm alive to your voice. I'm alive to your word. When you speak, I hear you and I hear to do. As you lead, I follow. Because you are my shepherd, I'm your sheep. The shepherd knows where the water is. The shepherd knows where the green grass is. The shepherd knows when there's danger. The shepherd knows how to take care of the sheep. And the sheep knows the voice of the shepherd. So the sheep is always following the shepherd. So I say today I'm alive to you. I hear you when you speak and I hear to do and I follow you as you lead. Then I now start saying things that today I only allow things that are in line with your word, your will, and your plan for me. I only go to places that you pre-planned for me to go. I only see the people that you pre-planned for me to see. I only say the words that you pre-planned for me to say. I only think thoughts that you pre-planned for me to think. I only feel emotions that you pre-planned for me to feel, or feel emotions that are in line with your word and your will for me. This is how I take charge of my day. Ever since I started doing this, I cannot begin to explain to you how my life has changed. Literally, without exaggeration, I feel more at peace. I feel more focused, and my day is actually more productive. So, because I've taken charge of my day, because I've already said I will not feel feelings that are not in line with God's will for me, or things that God did not plan for me to feel for today. So, when things start to happen that will make me want to feel overwhelmed or unappreciated or unnecessarily angry, I remember I remember that these feelings, or this feeling that is trying to creep up on me, is not in line with God's plan and will for me for today. For example, I think on Sunday, last Sunday, today is Monday, yeah, yesterday, we woke up and we were planning to go to church. We are getting ready for church. By 10 minutes past 9, our service starts at 10 o'clock. So we usually leave the house at about, if we want to get to church just before 10, we leave our house at about 9:45, so that we get to church at 9:55, just in time for service. By 9 o'clock, 9:05, I was ready for church. But nobody else in my house had taken their shower. Nobody was ready. I was ready. Okay? So I was trying to get everybody, please go take your bath, please take a shower, please hurry up, please hurry up. And everybody was gradually getting ready, except my son. My son said he didn't want to go to church because he wasn't feeling well, blah 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 blah. I said, allow you go this church because he said he hadn't been feeling well in the past week. And each time we asked him if he was well enough to go to school, he would always say he was well enough to go to school. All of a sudden on Sunday morning, this boy decides that, oh, I want to stay at home. I said, I lie. You go follow us, go to this church. You go follow. He was just delaying and delaying and delaying. And I was getting worked up. I was getting upset. And I was like, this boy, you will not. I, I, I could feel myself getting more and more upset. Then I remembered that I woke up this morning and I had taken charge of my day. So I said, you this boy, tell the people where send you, tell them, say, you see me shower, you see me, but you know work. I refuse. Nobody is going to spoil my day. I refuse it. You will get dressed. And I didn't shout. You will get dressed and we're going to go to church. And you no doubt feel better by the time we go to church and come back. He was very upset. He was just running his face. I didn't even look at his face. We got to church, finished with service, and got back home. And by the time we got back home, he felt better. If he had stayed back home all by himself, he'd have just wasted his day watching TV, pressing his phone, doing rubbish. When we got to church, met with other people, mingled with other people, received some fresh air, and we came back and he was much better. So this is just a little thing. You know, if you're an African and you live in, especially in Europe, if you're African and you live in Europe, or if you grew up in Africa and lived in Africa for any length of time before moving to Europe, you will understand the difference between the two continents. In Africa, we have help. You always have people, family, friends, free help. We also can get help that you can pay for. Sometimes the paid help is not really what you want, but at least you can get it. Here, getting paid help is very expensive, and forget about the free help. You're definitely not getting free help. If you get free help, it's not, it won't last long, you know. And the paid help is quite expensive. So imagine coming from Africa where you are always having help and coming to this place where you're the one doing everything as a woman, everything. Your house is dirty. Everybody is living in that house. They can see that the house is dirty, and nobody thinks of cleaning the house except when you tell them to. And even when you tell them, you have to keep reminding and reminding and reminding them. You know, maybe you have plans for your business and things are not really working as fast as you want. All those little things or big things can make you feel overwhelmed, make you feel discouraged, make you feel not to feel appreciated. But when you start the habit of intentionally taking charge of your day, you will see, you will remember that you took charge of your day. This has been helping me ever since I intentionally started doing this thing. It has been helping me. I feel more at peace. Have I said that before? I don't know if I've said that before. I feel more at peace. I feel more focused. And because I'm at peace and more focused, I find myself becoming more productive. I find myself being kinder to myself. So when there's something I want to do that I have not yet done or that I did not do by the end of the day, I'm kind to myself. I just tell myself, well, tomorrow is another day. You will do it tomorrow or the next day or the next day. So that's what I have experienced ever since I intentionally started taking charge of my day. Now, remember, we started taking charge from the night before. Then in the morning, we continued taking charge. Then at night, again, just before you go to bed, when you've done everything, you've cleared the dishes or done the dishes, you clean the table, you've done everything, taken a shower, or you cleaned your face, you're wearing your nightwear, you've prayed, and you're lying down in your bed. You've turned off your phone, you dropped your phone somewhere far, far away from you, I hope, and you're ready to turn in for the night. You say, you start to look for what was good about the day. Remember that when you woke up in the morning, you said, today is a great day. Some people say today will be a great day, but I like to live in the now. I don't like to, because if you're saying today will be a great day, you're saying it in the future, even though the day hasn't happened and you're allowed to talk about it in the future. But for me, I talk about my day like it has already happened. So I say today is a great day. So at night, when I'm about to sleep, I start to think. Somebody once called this treasure hunt. You start to hunt for treasure in the day, and you start to ask yourself, what went well about the day? What made the day great? Because you said the day is a great day, it will definitely be a great day. Why? Because you are a child of God, and God has given you authority to take charge of your day. If you say your day is a great day, definitely it will be a great day. So you think about your day. Don't think about the things that did not go the way you wanted. Maybe you had 27 things to do on your to-do list and you're only able to do 10. Wow, you did 10 out of 27. Great. Don't ignore the 17 things you didn't do. So you start to look and say, okay, I did this, I did that. I woke up in the morning, I prayed, I studied my Bible, I drank my lemon warm water, I recorded my podcast, I recorded a reel for my social media handles, I did this, I did that, I had lunch with my other half and it was great. I had a great discussion with my children. You start to think of all the things that went well in the day, and you'll notice that it was actually a great day. Do you know what that will do for you? It will boost your confidence. To boost your confidence, it will energize you for a better day the next day. It will make you feel good about yourself. That confidence thing is, it cannot be explained. So even when things do not go the way you want, because you're focused, you've said the word that it's a great day and you're focused on having a great day, you don't even notice the things that did not really go well. And even in the process of things not going well, you are able to even take charge of those things that don't go well. You find that it's easier for you to get to manage the things that are not going well. Sometimes you receive immediate ideas on how to handle the things that did not go well. Before I continue, I would like to thank Ngozi Jason LLC for sponsoring today's episode. Yes, I am thanking my own company. Give us our flowers. We are sponsoring this episode. We're sponsoring this episode. Ngozi Jason LLC is a consulting coaching company. We coach individuals and employees of organizations on how to have the right mindset. And we also help immigrant women of African descent to optimize their well-being and personal economy so that they can thrive and not just survive in their adopted country. Ngozi Jason LLC, everyone. Ooh, yes, I have to give myself the flowers. Yeah, so that's it. That's how you can have a great day. I just wanted to give you my own personal take on how you can have a great day. Sometimes, because I work from home, I'm almost always at home. I hardly go out. The few times I go out, it's either I'm going to church, I'm going to the library, or that's it. Church or library. Okay, and then grocery shopping. But because my husband is the one who goes out and he drives, he does most of the grocery shopping. I hardly do grocery shopping, but that's it. Most of the times I'm at home most of the time. So I just go out to go to church, which is once or twice a week, and then I go to the library, which is also once or twice a week. I go grocery shopping, which is just maybe once or twice a month. I hardly go out. So sometimes when you find yourself always in the house, especially in the UK climate, there's something about the weather in this country. So if you're always cooped up in the house, it does something to you, to it does something to your psyche. So sometimes I have to intentionally go out at least 3 times a week, at least 3 days a week. I have to intentionally take a walk, sometimes 20 minutes, 20 to 60 minutes of walk, just so that I can I can boost my emotional energy, so to speak, if that makes sense. So I take walks not just for my physical well-being, I also take walks for my emotional well-being. I always feel better once I've taken a walk and come back, even if it's just a 20-minute walk. I always feel much better because I'm always at home. So because I'm always at home, I find that I need much more discipline to do what I need to do if I had been working in an office. It's easy to get distracted. Sometimes when I'm writing, somebody is busy shouting on their phone somewhere and distracting me as I'm writing. If you're a writer, I'm sure you realize that you need peace, you need quiet, absolute quiet when you're writing. As those ideas are flowing, you're just writing them. But once people are around you talking and making noise, it's difficult for you to focus. So sometimes my family members forget that this woman is a writer, or let's give her some space. I mean, my workspace, this is my workspace, this is my home office, but there's someone right outside my door shouting over the phone and they don't know that I'm busy working. Sometimes I work with my phone and I'm trying to write, maybe do a social media post, or an idea just came to me about an article I want to write, and I'm just writing it, and then somebody just comes to meet me and starts telling me stories about what happened in school or what happened at work or what they're going to eat, and they don't know that this woman is working. And there's a way I work that works for me. I don't always like to work in a structured space, because sometimes working in a structured space can be boring for me. So that's why my phone is always with me. Sometimes when I'm on my bed, an idea comes to me, and I quickly take the idea and run with it and start working with it. My family members think I'm just browsing through social media. They don't know that I'm actually working. So it can get quite challenging. And then sometimes I can get distracted by the things that I need to do. As I speak now, my house needs to be vacuumed. It took a lot for me to ignore the house that needs to be vacuumed and come here and record my podcast. It took a lot. My cooker needs to be cleaned. I ignored it so I could come here and do this recording. Lunch needs to be prepared. Here in the UK, it's 1:34 p.m. I need to start prepping lunch so the lunch can be ready by 3:30 p.m. today. I just ignored it because sometimes you find that you're so busy doing domestic things, you forget to do the thing that will count for only you and just you. But because I have intentionally started taking charge of my day, it's easy for me to ignore the things that are not that urgent, and they're not urgent at all. In fact, they may be important, but they're not urgent. They're not urgent. And I focus on the things that are urgent and do those ones first before any other thing. Yeah, so that's it. When I start to feel overwhelmed, when I start to feel unappreciated, I remember, somehow I just remember that I'm taking charge of my day. Feeling unappreciated is not a feeling I like to feel. It doesn't do anything for me. Feeling overwhelmed does not do anything for me. These are feelings that I don't like to feel because they don't do anything for me. They make me feel bad. Why would I want to feel? I know there's some schools of thought who say feel everything you want to feel. Yeah, it may work for some people, but it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me to allow myself feel overwhelmed, feel bad, feel unappreciated, have a pity party all by myself. It doesn't work for me, to feel all that and then start to now work on how I should feel. Immediately I notice that I'm feeling this way, I cut it down immediately and then remember that I already spoke blessings into my day. I already spoke words of life into my day, and these are not feelings that I want to allow into my day. Yeah, and so that's all for today's podcast. Let me know what resonated most with you on today's podcast. You can write in the comments and let me know what resonated most with you. And you can also send me an email at ngozijason1 at gmail.com. That's ngozijason1 at gmail.com. And if you're a woman of African descent and you live abroad, anywhere outside your home country is abroad. So if you have achieved any measure of success in anything, no matter how small you think that success is, maybe you came into your adopted country pregnant. You did not know anybody, you did not have any friends or family member, but you were able to do it. That's mega success. Please send me a mail at ngozijason1 at gmail.com. Send me a mail and let's have a talk. Let's have a conversation so that um we can encourage other women who may be in the same position as you. If you were able to go to school in your adopted country and you did well and you were doing it while working part-time, you were going to school full-time, working part-time, and you had children and you had a husband, a home to look after, and then you were able to do this, that is mega success. Please send me a mail at ngozijason.com, ngozijason1 at gmail.com. ngozijason.com is my website. ngozijason.com is my website. My email is ngozijason1 at gmail.com. Send me a mail at ngozijason1 at gmail.com, or you can just put your details in the comments. Let's talk. I'd love to interview you so that we can encourage other women who may be in the position that you were, and they can get encouraged, they can be inspired and motivated. Yeah, so that's it for today. That's the episode for today. Thank you so much for listening. Yes, I am also going to give props to Ngozi Jason LLC for sponsoring today's podcast. Ngozi Jason LLC is a consulting and coaching company. We consult for organizations and we coach individuals on how they can have the right mindset to live successful lives. We also work with African women we also work with immigrant women of African descent to thrive and um, not just exist in their adopted country. Thank you so much for listening and for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching as well. And I'll see you in my next episode. Remember, mindset matters, perception is everything. See you next time. Toodaloo.